The Honor 9 Lite was a quad camera device that aimed at providing a good camera experience on a budget. The 10 Lite that succeeds it aims to take things to the next level with hardware as well as software emphasis, especially with the new AI added on top. This is Sandeep from RevAtlas and here's a camera review of the Honor 10 Lite. At the back, the 10 Lite packs in a similar 13MP f1.8 camera along with a secondary 2MP depth sensor. The camera is quick to focus, there's sufficient amount of detail and sharpness, but pixel peeping will showcase some object blurring unless you're very steady. Colors are great in regular mode and in HDR mode, but in AI mode it does tend to go overboard at times. The Honor 10 Lite is more like the P20 Pro in that respect rather than the more refined Mate 20 Pro, but since AI itself is a software thing, updates can always correct that. Dynamic range is limited and HDR mode doesn't help much either. AI mode only does apply an HDR effect too at times, but not always, so if you're looking to get better dynamic range, then better use HDR than AI. But it's not bad to shoot in AI always, though unless, like I said earlier, you need HDR specifically, since you can easily turn off the AI processing from the gallery even after capturing the photo, and even turn it on again if needed. There are two modes when it comes to getting a blurred effect on the phone. One is a portrait mode and the other is an aperture mode. The portrait mode is meant for people mainly, while the aperture mode is aimed at objects and other stuff and mimics the depth of field achieved by variable aperture lenses. You can change the focus as well as depth of field and level of blur after capturing the photo. Bokeh is creamy and the edge detection is on point. Sharpness gets slightly reduced even on the portion in focus due to the blur being applied and the lesser 2MP depth sensor. Low light photos are good in terms of exposure and colors. The white balance is on point and shutter speed is quick too. However, it has quite a bit of noise and there's also a lack of detailing. The savior is in the form of night mode, which improves quality by a big margin, and although it's prone to blurring since there's no OIS and it isn't as impressive as high-end Honor or Huawei phones, it still gives better results in low light almost always. At the front you have a 24MP camera with f2 aperture. Image quality from the front camera is good in terms of detail and sharpness. Colors are well rendered too, but the extra pixels result in noise, which is apparent when you pixel peep. This is even more evident in darker situations where the lighting conditions are more restricted and the noise is still evident despite the noise reduction being applied. There is no HDR mode and by default the dynamic range is limited, but using AI mode helps to a large extent here as it manages to get back so much of the details that is otherwise blown away in the highlights. Coming to the portrait mode, the bokeh is very creamy and the level of blur applied is good too. Edge detection is decent, but I won't say it's perfect. Some software tweaking could help it here. In terms of video recording, you get several options. You can record up to 1080p in terms of resolution and the maximum frame rate of 60fps thanks to the powerful Kirin 710 octa-core chipset. You can also specify the aspect ratio in 30fps mode with an option for either 16:9 or 18:7:9 videos. Remember to turn off Beautify because the resolution is limited to 720p when it's enabled. You can also opt between H.264 or H.265 encoding, the latter of which offers lower file sizes with similar detailing thanks to more efficient encoding. Video quality is decent but not great. The sharpness is decent and colors are good too, but the details are lacking due to low bitrate. The main issue here, however, is the lack of EIS that leads to shaky footage. I'm guessing the chipset is powerful enough to support EIS, so hopefully an update will bring that feature to the phone in the future. The front-facing camera can record 1080p as well, but again without EIS, although the quality and bitrate is better on here compared to the rear camera. The front camera captures at 16 Mbps compared to 14 Mbps on the rear camera in 1080p 30fps mode. Overall, the camera capabilities on the Honor 10 Lite can be described as being good, but not great. Night mode, however, gets a special mention for improving low light photos by a big margin. The main shortfall coming in the video department due to lack of EIS and detailing, which I hope gets corrected via a software update. If you're looking for a phone with cameras as the primary concern, then the 10 Lite may not be the right choice for you. But it has several other things going for it that you should check out in our review. Thanks for watching this video. See you again in the next one.